I do think TikTok's so good it's extending my toilet time, I reckon. That's why we all need to get on Ask Jeeves. This person thinks this, and for that reason, we should all burn them.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
Welcome to part 2, where we're talking about social media, and this time we're talking about if social media in general is a good or bad thing for people, for society, and you'll find out if Dan's ear bait was actually true about me being naked.
And we're not doing this as a time lapse this time.
Dan, no one needed to know that we accidentally recorded that as a time lapse on one of our 3 cameras. If you watch it on YouTube, you might notice that part 1 has one less shot than usual. Because my close-up, don't know if that's a coincidence, was recorded as a time lapse.
Actually, I had a word with Lauren before to try and not do the close-up of you.
Yeah,
We had some comments about people not liking the close-up shots of you and putting off their dinner.
Lauren, can you act like Lloyd's close-up doesn't work for some reason? Because it's just hideous when we go close on him. Yeah, if you listen to this podcast on Spotify or other services, just know that you can watch it on YouTube as well and see 3 camera angles for this one rather than 2.
Good radio voice.
Thank you. So Dan, is social media positive or negative for the world?
Both.
Sitting on the fence there, are you?
No.
Both. Do you know what? I completely agree.
Are we actually agreeing on something for once?
Yeah. I think everyone, so not just with social media, right? Little rant about the world in general. Everyone tries to put everything and every person in a box of like, is this good or bad? Is this person good or bad? Should we hate this or should we like it? And I think we need to stop trying to put things in boxes like this. There's good and bad things of all things. I'm a lovely person most of the time, you know, even if I say so myself. But on a squash court, sometimes I'm a bit of a dick. But would you agree with that, Dan?
Well, not just a dick, but sometimes you almost faint. You have to go to the back of the squash court and eat a Mars bar because your energy levels are low.
Well, you know, that's an irrelevant story, and it was a Twix.
Sorry.
But I do that. But yeah, and the whole social media thing, there seems to be.
Do you like it or not?
People on one side going, this is terrible. Oh, kids having all this screen time and it's ruining everything. And they don't have any social skills. And, it's just ruining the world. Or other people going, I love social media. I think it's really creative and it's great. And it's like, please, can we just acknowledge that both sides have a point?
I think it just...
Please?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you.
Actually agree. I think it just scales up everything, good and bad. So, good... raising money for charity, spreading positive messages that make people happy, spreading positivity, connecting people who are lonely. It scales up everything good that's in your community, in the world, but also bad. It scales up hate messages. It scales up negativity. Online bullying. It scales up, and you can't.
Anything, I guess, you could get by word of mouth,
not on social media,
in your local town centre. You know, you could talk to people, you could transfer knowledge with someone else.
Education's
really
another positive one, actually. Education,
you can the person that you're looking at that's street performing, you can go, oh wow, that's really inspiring how brilliant they are at singing or at dancing or at juggling, you know, and social media allows that to be viewed by millions of people.
Do you think it's more of a positive or more of a negative though? Like now in 2020, where are we? September 2020. So say you switched off all social media. Do you know what I mean? Would you be more on the fence of?
I think that is a really hard question to answer. I think in reality, I don't think no one knows because it's hypothetical. Oh, if you switch off social media, would it? Because I think there's potential. Yeah, there's potential that not having smartphones and things like that in general could be positive. But I reckon you could. If that's that nostalgic thing, looking back, remember when we didn't have mobile phones?
No, but I reckon you could.
After a day of not being able to speak to anyone, would we really think it's positive?
No, I do honestly think one thing is humans could live a more fulfilling life. Like the life of like not living off the land, because I'm not talking about going back to like the Stone Ages.
No social media. Suddenly we're all on farms.
But you know, I just think being outside and not staring at a screen will be a lot more positive for more human beings than not. But then it's the swings and roundabout of like, oh, there'll be nowhere near as much charity and helping people because...
Yeah. I think like anything, too much of it is a bad thing. Like, I think in reality, I think most people are addicted to their smartphones, are addicted to social media, are addicted to alcohol, are addicted to food. Like in reality, so just doing it.
Depends what you class as addicted.
Well, drinking alcohol and watching TikTok for 3 hours a day, both of those things I think are negative in general, right? But I keep doing them.
What, you drinking alcohol for 3 hours a day?
No. But you know what I mean? Like, you know when you have a drink, you have a hangover, oh, I'm never going to drink again. And then three days later you think, oh, I'll have some beers with my mates.
Like you, I mean us. We're conditioned because we do something that makes us feel good, and then that teaches us to do more of it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I think there are so many positives of social media, but it's anything to excess is a bad thing, and it's when you're kind of thinking, because I think a lot of us are in a position where we're like, yeah, we like social media, but why am I sometimes just scrolling news feeds and I'm not actually getting anything out of it? But something makes me open up my phone and do that.
There's been studies on a previous episode you said about biology and what was the word? Serotonin or whatever.
Dopamine.
Yeah. We haven't read the studies in detail, but there's definitely studies out there where social media platforms are built to literally release the chemicals in your body that make you feel good. Or a notification, I'm loved. And then everything a social platform is built for is to make you spend more time on it. So even like a while ago, I did a post actually, which lots of people engaged with, when I was getting notifications on Facebook. I don't know if any of the listeners realise this. Do you ever realise on Facebook now, because they're running out of ways to keep you on the platform, you get notifications for stuff that isn't a notification for you. Oh, Dave went to the shop near you. I don't care.
I feel like this is the start of the downfall for Facebook, because when the platform isn't good enough to get your attention, so they start going,
trying to trick you.
Dave, you knew 3 years ago said something somewhere, and because now I'm at a point where I don't look at Facebook notifications because I know they're not relevant, and then they've lost that ability.
So and so played a game on Facebook and did quite well. It's like, what?
I mean, in 2008, I would have gone, oh, what game's that? Right. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Like I said about humans being conditioned with certain things, like I think we're now conditioned to not take notice of Facebook notifications, so it's having less of the impact they want it to, because they've kind of tricked us. And
anything new, well, like we were talking about social media marketing in part one, there's still a big portion of people who don't realise how that works, but once that becomes completely common knowledge of, oh, it's not just coincidence that you're seeing this thing where you can buy this thing that really suits you. It's like you're being targeted to take that action. People might be like, oh, I'm not, almost fight against it. I don't want to buy this because they're targeting me.
I think there's never in the history of social platforms been as powerful a platform to keep you on it than TikTok.
Yeah, I agree.
And they've got the formula so well with the content they serve you and their algorithm to keep serving you little snippets of content that you can spend hours and hours and hours.
But do you know, and do you know what? I also currently, as of today, enjoy using TikTok much more than any other platform.
That's because they've conditioned you to do that.
Yeah, I'm brainwashed. But for me, at the moment, and things might change, it's a far more positive place than anywhere else online. So I see, like we were saying before,
still part of their strategy.
So was Facebook? Did you say?
So it's the same.
But that's what I mean. So Facebook currently
isn't because it's gone past that stage of its life cycle.
It's negative. A lot of people moaning about stuff, politics, and all this, and arguing with each other and not understanding each other's opinions. Whereas TikTok, I go on there, there's lots of people doing amazing things. You're like, oh, that's really clever. Oh, wow, they're talented. Oh, that's really funny. And it's kind of like...
You're getting those things.
Exactly.
Rather than,
not someone going, oh, this person thinks this. And for that reason, we should all burn them. Oh, that sounds horrible.
Is that what you've been posting?
Yeah. Or, you know, and then someone that hates other races going, oh, they shouldn't go in our country, and then someone else from the other side going, we should just murder this person.
Yeah.
Like Facebook to me that's the sort of stuff
I do think you're right. It's going downhill.
Whereas TikTok, and I'm trying to think, how is that? Is that because of the platform? Is that because of the user base?
I think
is that because of the algorithm? I don't know.
I also think it's the user experience. If you think of TikTok, similar to like Insta Stories or Snapchat, where it's a full screen experience and you're swiping, and the main creative you see is the video. There's a little description of what it is at the bottom. And then you have to click on comments to see other people saying stuff. Whereas on Facebook, where you're scrolling, you can literally see a post someone's done and negative comments they've got underneath.
So actually, there may be more negativity on TikTok than I realised, but I don't click into the comments.
You're not actively.
As much.
Oh, there's definitely there's negativity. Yeah, people trolling and stuff in comments.
So I'm just a naive over 30s TikTok user that doesn't understand the platform.
No. You're definitely right. In general, the content element is way more fun and do this dance and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Because there's even educational content. You know, friend of the show, Robbie Knox, that we saw last week. His brother does
that's
the
so cool.
stuff
You should
about
check him
English language.
What's his TikTok account
called? Editor, Robbie Knox's brother's TikTok thing. Can you say it or
yeah? He explains words and things, doesn't he? Which
and
sounds
language
really, that's a rubbish explanation, but
but this is what I'm saying. Something that if you said to me, "There's this person on Facebook and they do little videos to tell you about English language," I go, "Sounds rubbish." But I follow. I feel bad calling him Robbie Knox's brother. He's got his own name and he's very successful and he's really good. And every time I watch a TikTok, I'm interested. I'm like, oh, I've learned something. That's really cool. So yeah, it's interesting.
Now you mentioned Robbie, it made me think of something else about how social platforms treat their creators as well. Because a big part of a social platform is having creators, inverted commas, people who put effort into producing really good content.
Not like a lot of us that are just consumers.
Exactly.
We're just watching.
And we both follow Jack Mate, who's a creator, and he's been on YouTube for years. And it was interesting seeing that he's focused on YouTube for years, but YouTube historically just treat their creators like rubbish and don't interact with them or engage with them. And his podcast's just been exclusively signed to Spotify. Because Spotify actually they've clearly got a strategy caring about
they value the work that Jack's been putting in for however many years, the hard work, and he's actually doing something good. He's got a lot of attention. And Instagram,
Facebook have tried to do that by when they brought in you can monetize your content as a creator once you hit a certain threshold, and YouTube do that with their AdSense, but it's nowhere near the.
I wonder with longevity of a platform,
they need to be treating the creators well. I think so.
Eventually, will there be a rival to YouTube that treat the creators better? So eventually, I suppose Twitch in a way could be that rival. There could be other platforms in the future, but if they treat the creators better, creators will gradually put more content, more higher quality content on those platforms and less on the ones that treat them like crap.
Yeah.
But I suppose the hard thing with YouTube, I feel like they look after their creators by paying them, basically.
Well, but not all of them, because they demonetize videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But also the other thing is they're run by Google, which is just so powerful. They could just do whatever they want in the world. Like they could just make YouTube come up in all the search results when anyone types in a video platform I can watch stuff on. YouTube.
It's going to be tough to compete with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we all need to get on Ask Jeeves to search for stuff so that Google can't. Is that still a thing?
No, it's called Ask now, but it is still a thing.
Ask Jeeves. That was the first way I had of finding stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, it was. God, getting nostalgic for the over 30s in the room. Oh no, actually, people in their 20s as well. When it wasn't just Google, and you're like, oh, should we search this on Yahoo or Ask Jeeves or Google?
Yeah.
And everyone had their own ones they used.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it's a monopoly, isn't it?
But who are these people that search on things like Bing and stuff like that? Who are they? Because there is people doing it, but I don't think I've ever met anyone that does
certain, it. Like psychopaths and like murderers. They do profiling, and I've heard things like
they've been searching on Bing
if
and
you
not
look
Google.
at what hot drinks they drink. The only reason I know this is because what I drink, so it scared me a bit. Said most like serial killers drink black coffee without any sugar, which is what I drink. Which is why I took notice of it. But I reckon also, by the way, guys, completely made up. I reckon most serial killers search on Bing.
Yeah.
I just think you've got to be something's going
Just
on
not quite
there.
there.
What's gonna make you do that?
Yeah.
Or I suppose you're just a bit out there and quirky. You think I don't need to follow everyone. I'm not a sheep.
There is a search. I can't remember the name of it. There's a platform you search on, and it does something like donates to charity every time you search, or something like that. There's some cool
How
creative.
could we find that? Just Google
Oh
it.
yeah, just Google it. Yeah. But Google's become what's not synonymous. It's when a word like sellotape isn't what it is. It's sticky tape, but we call it sellotape.
Adhesive. Can you pass me that
I think
adhesive
it's
tape?
No, not synonymous. Something like that.
Yeah, you don't say, can you do an internet search? You say Google it.
Yeah.
I'll just Google it on Ask Jeeves.
That's what we're aiming for eventually.
Yeah.
We need some marketing support. Just Knowlton it.
Yeah, just Knowlton it. Oh, you see that $1 billion company? Oh yeah, they Knowltoned it a year ago.
Yeah. Can that be our new tagline?
Yeah.
Just
you see
Knowlton
some
it.
content online that's like so
Yeah,
much
that's been
better than any
Knowltoned.
others. Oh, they've Knowltoned it, haven't they? Bloody hell, they've definitely Knowltoned it there. One day, is this another clip that we're in 10 years? We're going to go back, and everyone's going, "Oh, you see everyone Knowltoning it?" Like, yeah, we predicted it. I think that's less likely than my other prediction.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think Knowlton's going to become a verb.
I do.
I'm going to start using it just in house though now. So
Yeah.
our team here, if we all
that
start
been
just
Knowltoned?
saying, "Has that been Knowltoned?" Oh yeah, I've properly Knowltoned it yesterday. It's looking really good.
That could be construed for different things, though. Lloyd's been Knowltoning people.
HR are going to get involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So we're talking about positives and negatives. We kind of sat on the fence, but explained our arguments of
Yeah.
social media isn't necessarily positive or
Mhm.
negative. It's both.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any fears, or do you have any regrets in the way that we work? We kind of encourage with what we do, putting content online to spend more time on social media. Do you have any worries that could be negative for people, or anything that we do or influence we have has a negative effect on people?
I probably don't worry anywhere near as much as you, because I'm a worse person.
Who said I'm worried?
No, you're just the type of person that would worry, because I trust our integrity and I trust our intent.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's a good question. Should we be worried about it? I also think the other sort of caveat is people are actively signing up for the platforms and ticking all the terms and conditions and know what they're doing before we serve them stuff to buy stuff. But then you could say that about like gambling and stuff.
But so you obviously assumed that I'd worry about this.
I thought you would, Joe.
No, I think, like you said, our intent's right. And I also think what we're aiming for as a business, the type of content that we create, we want to create stuff that everyone's a winner. So we're not just on our client side of, if you do this, you'll trick people into buying your stuff. Because I think if we were doing that, like, get them hooked on this gambling site, and then we'll do this product that makes them spend 10 times more.
Yeah.
If we're doing that, I think,
definitely.
I don't feel good about this. We're having a negative effect on people. But my view is we're trying to go down this route with our advertainment and adverts and content that people that are served it actually enjoy watching it. So they're, even if they don't buy from our clients, they're being entertained and they're enjoying it. So from their side, it's a positive thing, and they come out going, that was funny.
Didn't Knowlton recently do a really good entertaining ad campaign, skydiving and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, we're always doing it, but this week we did a really exciting one.
I thought we did.
We were. So we had a 4-day shoot last week. The team worked really hard and currently editing it and making it all happen. But yeah, we had a shoot where we were skydiving, we were out to sea, shooting on a boat, towing a pedalo, being towed by a jet ski.
With a Jeff Bezos lookalike on the back.
Lookalike. We had some great actors involved, and basically creating this
entertaining adverts.
entertaining comedy advert that's gonna change the world. I don't know why you're laughing then.
Change the world.
It is going to change the world. Yeah, and we want to be doing more of that stuff. Adverts like that people are going to watch and come away going, that was really funny.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to remember that business and buy from them not only now but in weeks to come.
But if you,
good business.
If you actually do look at the comments on our clients' campaigns when we produce this style of advert, people literally comment saying, "I can't believe I've just watched a 6-minute advert.
Yeah.
I want to buy it now."
That's the best feeling when you look through those
comments,
things.
not just the
Oh
sales.
my God, this is the best advert I've ever seen. I've just watched an advert for fun. Because when we're creating stuff that's just talking about our clients' products or services, and people going, "I just watched all of that." You're like,
that was literally just a full-on
we
thing
have
of us
done
selling.
a brilliant job. We do what we say we do. But yeah, I want to do more of that, so everyone's a winner, and therefore you come out of it, and there's no one that's getting the negative side of it. It's just the best thing ever, and everyone's positive. So yeah.
What about your kind of personal use of social media? Like, have you changed your habits of using social media at all?
Yes, definitely.
Go on.
Quite recently, actually.
Wait, when did you first sign up for social media? Just to give context.
For the social medias.
Yeah, for the
well,
social
obviously
medias.
it depends what platform. I was quite an early adopter of Facebook. I think I had
FaceChat.
I think I had a Friendster and a Facebook
Did you?
account.
I had Bebo. Do you remember Bebo?
Yes. Oh well, I
Share the love.
started out with Bebo. Yeah. Lauren's shooting us behind the camera. She probably's never heard of Bebo.
No,
Probably wasn't
she's
born.
a youngster.
But yeah. Oh no, sorry. MySpace. How could I forget MySpace? So started out MySpace and Bebo. Then I had a Friendster and a Facebook, and I kind of never worked out how to use Friendster. And what a surprise! No one's heard of it.
And then that other one, you joined Grindr.
Yes, what a funny. Yeah, so signed up for Facebook pretty early. Actually, I remember when it was. It was when I was 15 because I went on holiday to Newquay, and then Heather something, who I met there, added me on Facebook, and I thought, oh, what's this? Cool. And then I tagged. She tagged me in photos, and I remember thinking, don't even know what that means. Let's see what that means. I've been tagged. God.
Yeah.
And then
that was
back in the day, I mean, younger listeners of the podcast, you might be horrified to learn that we used to have holidays or nights out, and we just used to post albums of hundreds of pictures after a night out or after a holiday or something. And then our friends just used to look through those hundreds of pictures and comment on them individually, rather than, Instagram, you do something and then you might post about it once. We thought the world needed to see every single photo. I even, on Facebook, I even took that Newquay holiday, I took pictures on a disposable camera.
I took photos of the photos.
I scanned those photos into my computer, and then I posted them on Facebook, and they're still there today.
Oh dear.
But yeah, so sorry. Went a bit off topic there. Just nostalgic of me being old.
So your behaviour.
So recently, I deleted the Facebook app from my phone.
Oh, you're well cool.
Yeah, I'm just a bit out there, just a bit quirky. No, exactly as we were saying earlier. Was it earlier in this part or the last one? Who knows? It doesn't matter. I realised that Facebook was actually becoming a negative experience for me. So I was going on it, doing that thing of dopamine. Oh, for some reason I have to look through this. I've done it. My family are around me having a great time and just staring at my phone on Facebook. And there was a lot of negativity on there, and I was coming away from that feeling negative. And also a family member of ours at the same time was feeling quite negative about conversation they were having on Facebook, and I sort of said with them, should we just both delete it and see if that improves our lives? And it has. I've still got an account, and I still go on it every day, actually, because with our work.
Just on your tablet now?
No, in reality it is once a day I go in it on the computer, because with our work, I need to keep up to date with how these platforms work, so I can't just go off grid. No, I'm never going to look at social media, and then suddenly we don't know what we're doing for our clients.
Right, mate, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, I found it really positive. But in a weird way, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so going to spend less time on Facebook. I think I'm just spending more time on TikTok. so currently, like, that is a positive step. Like, I feel more positive than when I was on Facebook. But
Yeah.
I don't think I'm on my phone less. I think I'm just on
Have
TikTok.
you looked at your screen time?
Yeah.
I did that a while ago and it scared me. And that was one thing I did was I just switched off all my notifications except WhatsApp and phone calls and messages. And life's so much better.
That's similar to me. So I read it somewhere and I thought that's a great idea. I switch off notifications when it's not actually another human trying to contact me. So on Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or phone calls or even emails if you wanted to, it's another human trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
And that's in my eyes, it's like, oh, I want to see that.
Yeah.
If my mates or my family are trying to contact me. But if it's just Instagram going, someone liked your thing, or Twitter going, someone retweeted this, it's like, you don't need to.
No,
you
can
don't
look
need
on it
to
when
look
you
at your phone and that buzz
when you
you
go to
and
the
alert
toilet.
you.
You can look at it.
Yeah, exactly. You can when you're going for a poo, you can get off TikTok, Lloyd, for 5 minutes and look at the other.
3 hours later, Lloyd's in the toilet still scrolling TikTok.
I do think TikTok's so good; it's extending my toilet time. I reckon.
Or even longer.
Sometimes everyone leaves. I suddenly look. I'm sat in the toilet and my leg's gone numb, and it's like, shit! It's 9:30.
A never-ending feed of TikToks.
Yeah. But yes, I've really changed. So deleting Facebook has changed, and I think it's a positive thing. What about you? Have you changed your?
Just the notifications, I think, and also actually monitoring my screen time, because I used to have some ridiculous amount of screen time, and I thought, what on earth am I doing spending that many hours a day?
People treat screen time as the devil, but I do think if you're doing something positive with your screen time,
Like what?
well, we work behind screens and we're building a business which we think is positive. So I don't see that.
But
screen
it's the
time
opportunity
as bad.
cost. What could you be doing instead of staring at a screen, Lloyd? You could be saving children's lives.
Could I?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll do that if there's an opportunity. Great.
No, but I think
screen.
you should be monitoring, because you can just get sucked into just doing stuff on your screen.
Surely you should be monitoring negative screen time. So if you're watching a screen and there's no benefit to anyone from you doing that,
Makes you feel good.
then stop doing it. But if there's screen time, I'm just on the Just Giving app sponsoring loads of charities. Don't go, screen time. Stop doing that.
It's what screen. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And also, like I said, if you're having a conversation with your friends when you're sat alone at home, I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
You're on your screen and you're making connections with your friends and keeping that relationship going. But if your friends and family are around you in real life
And you're on your screen.
but you're on a gambling app playing roulette, I'd say that's screen time's bad.
A couple of times though, recently, you've caught yourself. I've been literally speaking to Lloyd, and he opens up Instagram and starts scrolling the newsfeed.
Well,
and then you got annoyed with yourself because you couldn't control your body from doing it.
That was only twice, but yeah, I have to admit that scared me.
I was
a
like,
bit.
"Are you actually being serious? I'm talking to you."
My
and
brother was literally talking to me, and I automatically switched off from him and started looking on Instagram. And then when Dan kind of woke me back up and brought me to the room,
Are you serious?
I was thinking, what a horrible, weird thing to do. Yeah, but I do think that's an issue though.
You're
If
that
you
bored of
genuinely
me.
are, previously people have done stuff like that, and I thought, that's not a very nice thing to do. So
Now you're doing it.
When I noticed that, obviously I've really been like, okay, I don't want to do
You
this
got in a
now.
mood of yourself and put your
Yeah,
phone.
I did. I was like, what the hell? But I've had friends who they sit down with you and they hold their phone in front of them like this. So listeners, I've just got my phone out ready to look at, but I'm not quite looking at it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like talking to them, yeah, and then they look down, and you think kind of like, well, shall I just leave?
There's Simon Sinek's got a video of him doing an interview with a guy, and he talks about how rude it is to have your phone, your phone
Have your phone at the table.
your phone at the table, because you're literally, it's happening there now, sorry.
Oh, Dan's
It's
just
like-
noticed his phone's on the
It's
table.
like, this conversation isn't important enough for me. I'm going to wait until there's something better on there.
Yeah. If your phone's on the table, you think there might be something better than this.
Listeners, analyse yourself. How often do you get your phone out when you're in an environment with other people that you could be speaking to?
If your phone's on the table,
Your phone on the table.
maybe you should think twice about where you put your phone. And I've learned this recently. No, I think that's definitely something with social media and with devices and screens. Something we should be focusing on, because that is a bit crazy, isn't it? Someone like you love or someone you like being with in front of you, and you're just trying to find a way to get out of that. Someone might have posted a good TikTok, so I need to be. Yeah. So
Lloyd's a terrible person.
Yeah. To finish this podcast, Dan, I thought it'd be interesting for us to rank social media platforms.
I better know what's your number one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Google Plus. It's my favourite. Yeah. What do you remember that? It's like, be in my circle or something.
Yeah.
No one really ever understood.
No,
I didn't ever get it. I opened up an account and it was like, no, don't understand anything, so I'm off.
Yeah. Go on, give me your top 5 and why then.
Okay, well, I'm going first.
Go on then.
Okay, down one. Oh no, so we're going from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
I don't care.
Okay, in at number 1, we've got YouTube with a question. Is it one?
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah, that's a social media platform, would you say, YouTube?
Of course it is, yeah.
So is TV?
No.
What's the difference?
Because TV isn't social.
Comments. Got ya. Yeah, okay, agreed. Yeah, so YouTube, I spend more time watching YouTube than TV or Netflix or other things, and there's been people I've watched for years, like Jack Mate, who mentioned earlier.
And you've learnt a lot, probably. You learnt loads of stuff about video, didn't you?
I spend loads of my spare time trying to learn stuff on YouTube. Yeah, like if there's a video,
you
I
built
think
a
I've said
wormery
this before.
because of...
Yeah, there's a video like your tomato plant's going to thrive with these 5 tips. I'm on there. There's this guy called Self-Sufficient Me, this Australian big gardener guy. God, he's taught me some lessons. He's
nice.
Yeah. My compost. Next year it's going to be great because he's taught me everything I need to know. And he's, hi, I'm what's his name? Something from Self-Sufficient Me. Today I'm going to talk about, and then he goes, let's get into it. And then I think, this is the good stuff.
Nice.
Anyway, so YouTube.
In at number 2.
In at number 2, down 1. We thought it was going to be number 1, but it's down. It's TikTok, and for the reason it's positive. My notes literally say TikTok, positive, inspiring, fun.
Got it. Okay.
And that sums up what I think about it. Really,
nice.
As I've said in the podcast, it's a really positive place, and I can see loads of talented people doing really good, fun things.
In at number 3.
In at number 3, we've got Instagram. It's creative and visual. 2 things I like, but at the same time, not so keen on people thinking they have the perfect body image. Did I make that point?
No, you don't.
No, that didn't really make sense, did it? But yeah, it's visual, like I said, and creative, and that's how my brain works. So I like it. But the whole you
got to have a 12-pack.
Oh, here I am with my 12-pack on the beach with a stack of cash in my hand.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. There's more people on that platform with a fake kind of
persona.
Perception of, yeah, and then they obviously give that money back to whoever it belongs to, and then they relax, and their stomach goes out. They haven't got a 6-pack. Yeah, and then the girls they've hired leave. Yeah. Experienced that before. No, I haven't.
Context, Lloyd.
Yeah, just ignore that last bit.
In at number 4.
In at number 4, we got LinkedIn. And my note says, business interests me. So I actually think, as a platform, I don't think LinkedIn is overly good. But I think because of my interests of creative video and business, that's kind of what a lot of LinkedIn is right now. Yeah. But I still think as a platform, I don't think it's great. I think it's not very usable. What you think as a platform, it's... So if we weren't business owners, would you spend lots of time on LinkedIn compared to other platforms?
Yeah, but we are.
Cool. In at number 5. I actually, after those 4, I don't have any that I enjoy using, other than potentially Pinterest, but I use it about once a month.
Oh, for inspiration.
Yeah. So again, bit of gardening.
Yeah.
Oh, how could I create this thing that cucumber plants climb up? And it's like, oh yeah, that looks good. So
Love
weirdly, I don't use it much, but probably if I had to have a number 5, it'd be Pinterest. Because don't use Snapchat or Facebook and...
No.
Yeah.
Deleted the app, didn't you?
Yeah, have you heard that story? Okay.
Are you going to do my...
Dan's
Do you want to do my...
Yeah. Okay, welcome to the top 5 of Den's social media apps. This week, we got in at number 5, down 1.
Twitter.
Why?
Because it was our first big break in social media.
Twitter's not even on mine. That's definitely before Pinterest.
Yeah.
I forgot that existed.
Lloyd's such a good person in social media. He just doesn't know social media platforms.
I forgot to. I'm
this is why I spend all my life on social media, so we know what we're doing.
Well, no, I'm literally on Twitter every day. I don't speak to my wife in the evenings because I'm looking up football gossip on Twitter.
Because that's more important.
Yeah, because that's more important. Yeah, sorry. Pinterest just gone down to 6.
Cool. So that's Twitter, and I'm verified on Twitter, which means I'm more important than everyone else.
Yeah, it means you're a better person, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Blue tick, wanker.
Blue tick anchor. And at number 4.
Facebook, because of business, and it helps us generate really good results for our clients.
Yeah,
that was more of mine, like at the moment, anyway.
Yeah. Down 2. In at number 3.
TikTok. My notes are positive, fun vibes. Same as you.
Cool. I'm wondering what the top 2 are then.
Go on.
In at number 2, new entry.
YouTube. My notes are learn most and watch most lunchtimes.
This is what we should do on the podcast in future.
Just read the notes.
Learn most. Read at lunchtime. Yeah,
Yeah,
you do actually. You quite often, the rest of the guys kind of smile at each other when you just are laughing at your screen watching YouTube at lunchtime.
I enjoy that though.
Yeah, you do seem to enjoy it.
Because it makes me avoid having to speak to other human beings in here.
Yeah. I just pretend to watch YouTube. Yeah.
But you literally do with me when you're talking to me with Instagram.
Yeah. So number 1 is...
No, go on.
In at number 1, the number 1. Just say number 1 more. At number 1 we have...
LinkedIn.
Congratulations, number 1 this week in Dan's top charts.
Do you want to hear my notes for this one?
Yeah, because I was saying, LinkedIn's not that good. And so, yeah.
Get most serotonin hit due to response and engagement.
Oh, because you're quite big on LinkedIn these days, so you get a lot of people. Oh, it's so good.
Well, it's funny.
All that work that me and the team put into creating content.
I post it.
Dan posts it on his personal profile and gets, Dan, you're so good. Oh, this is so funny. Yeah. That's probably good. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
The logic.
Like, you're getting humans. A lot of humans saying good things to you.
Makes you feel good.
Makes you feel good.
What are your top 5? Leave a review. Comment.
Leave a review with your top 5. Tell us if you like TikTok while you're going for a poo, or if you like LinkedIn for the dopamine hits. Cool. I enjoyed that chat.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I enjoyed that chat more than part 1. What do you think, listeners? I think we upped our game in part 2.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah. I think we've done that in a few episodes.
Oh, we didn't tell that story that we were going to tell. Should we leave that for the next episode?
Ear bait. Bit of ear bait there. Oh, yeah. Not time now, Dan. Maybe next week's episode, you'll hear what happened with an interesting story. Cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Had a really good time talking about social media. Hopefully you've learnt something or you've been entertained. See you next time.
Goodbye.